the league leaders by 2-0 at half-time at the Etihad. Was that an uncomfortable first-half watch for you there, David?
It was. You know, we got off... What are you laughing at? We got off to the worst start, you know. After 8 minutes, we conceded a goal. You know, and if I'm honest, sometimes you have to, like, just say, right, you know, City have played brilliantly. You know, but with the goal right near the end was a real harsh one to concede from a set piece. I think Ben White gets pushed into that, keeping John Stones onside right at the end. But it's a tough watch at the moment.
If you're being critical, should it be more than 2 for City?
I personally would have said 7 myself, but
he's floating halfway through, David.
Ramsdale's been
Might not make the second half.
Ramsdale, I think, has done quite well, particularly in some of the areas. It should have been 3 or 4, if I'm being honest. But when you've got a keeper like Ramsdale, you expect him to save some of them. He did, but in general, I don't really get the way Arsenal are playing, to be honest with you. I think they're against a team like City, you're either going to press, for me, or you're going to drop off a little bit. I feel like they're in the middle. They're half pressing, and I found it was quite passive. There wasn't really any aggressiveness towards it, which is allowing Kevin and Haaland to basically run the show. Kevin's taking their midfielders and defenders all over the place, and they're allowing it to happen. And
yeah, and it took them just 7 minutes, Michael. We're used to De Bruyne assists for Haaland, but not the other way around. This is the first time it's happened in the Premier League.
Well, Sean mentioned maybe they're half pressing, and this might be the reason, because they've gone long once, and all of a sudden, what do you do when they go long? You try to press them, and if they've got options, then you're struggling. I mean, it's an unbelievable goal from Manchester City's point of view. We look here at the long ball. They're just playing around the back to start with, but then Arsenal start with the press, and eventually they have 3-4 players in the final third, and Manchester City go long. But just have a look at Partey there with Kevin De Bruyne, the eventual goal scorer. He lets him run. But the main culprit, I feel, here is holding. You can be very, very aggressive in this situation. You've got a man, Gabriel, right in behind you. Either win the ball or give a foul away. Get everybody behind the ball again. But once you're half-heartedly put in a challenge and the big man brings the ball down exquisitely well, then all of a sudden they're turned and you're in big trouble.
Just to clear this up, David, is there anything Aaron Ramsdale could have done here more?
No, because with Kevin De Bruyne, he's got both, but he's got the whip, and then he's got that one that goes down the side of the post as well. You know, so you can't gamble, you can't guess. You know, and it goes from outside the post back into, and it's unlucky. I think he gets a slight touch on it, but you can't guess in those situations.
That is the 7th goal in Kevin De Bruyne's career against Arsenal, more than any other club. He enjoyed that one inside 7 minutes. Now, Sean, you said this was tight, right, from the first kick.
Yeah, I thought it felt like they were going to score. They were in the ascendancy. But when you got people like Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva on the ball, you know deliveries like this can come in. And I think Akanji there just runs into him. I feel like White has to stand his ground. Then he wouldn't be offside, where he would have been offside. But the ball in and the header, for me, from Stones was superb. Right back across the face of the keeper. The keeper can't do nothing. They're at the perfect height.
There's the line. Ian Hudson raised his flag, the referee's assistant.
And it's not that close, is it? I mean, when I saw him first sight, I thought that's just offside. But you see there, the line proves that he's quite conclusively onside there. And as Sean said before, I think probably justifiably Manchester City go in at 2-0 down. I was about to say at half-time, how's it only 1? I think 2-0 is probably a fair reflection.
Just towards the end of the first half, we saw a yellow card there for Ruben Diaz in that incident with Ben White. Are we happy with the colour here, David?
Not fully happy. It's a soft red card, if I'm honest. You know, he doesn't like really give him a good hit, but he doesn't lash out, but he flicks out with his studs, and you know, I saw my England captain get sent off for something like that.
So then why didn't Ben White he was kicking him while he was down? Why has he not got nothing for that?
Where?
At the beginning, look, before he gets there, you're just trying to get a City player.
It's like retaliation, isn't it? Can't retaliate.
You happy with the yellow?
Petulance, I would call it, and that's a yellow card,
OK, so they are still 11v11, but...
We've always been a fabulous football team and painting great pictures on the park. But when the time comes now, the amount of time that you can go long into someone like Haaland and change that way of playing and have a different focal point, what does that mean for this team? And has that made you a better team and harder team to play against?
Well, Erling is an incredible threat, so always the manager had to adapt the quality of the players that we have, and with the previous season with false nine when we play is completely different. But now the connection Kevin and Erling is extraordinary, and we have to, we try today to, to use it as much as possible. But defensively, offensively, for the first minute we were incredible focus. And the guys respond unbelievable in a game, an important game, not decisive, but really, honestly, was really, really important.
7 Premier League wins in a row now, Pep. What do you think of the level your players are playing at the moment?
No, I said many times, when we have back-to-back Premier League winners, so in September, October, November, when you lose a game, just said, okay, we have time. And Arsenal in the beginning was completely the opposite, so they won every game is like a final. But arriving the 2 months left, the last 2 months, the players know it's not necessary to tell him, so, it's close, and we know exactly if we win, we are still in contention. If we lose, we have no chance. And play as a football player, play in that mentality or that feeling that is not other option to win, otherwise we're going to lose. That is the best way to approach the games. And the last month, 2 months, the players show in the past to every game we go there, try to win and move forward.
And absolutely ruthless. You feel there's still even more levels that you can go, though?
Sorry?
Is there more levels that you can go to before the season's out?
No, now is I know the next 3 games are really, really important. Fulham on Sunday, and what Marco Silva has done this season is unbelievable. He came from the Championship, and look, the season has done in the stadium, a special stadium. And after 2 games at home against West Ham and Leeds, I think these 3 games will dictate. If you are able to do what you have to do, we'll be close. We'll be close because we have 2 games in hand. But the reality today sounds a little bit naive, but the reality, we are behind Arsenal. They have 2 points in front of us. So, because I don't think so, going to Brighton, for example, and win, so it will not be easy. So, game by game, and we'll see what happens.
So, you've got some great players at your disposal. You've had great players all through your career as manager. Where does someone like Kevin De Bruyne, who's having huge impact now, rate among the players that you've had over the course of your managerial career?
Always I push him. Always had the feeling that he can do better. But in this shape, like, can move behind Partey or behind Xhaka, move a little bit freedom, and especially when these uncertain balls, the long balls, second balls, long balls, second balls, and we contact with him, with Erling up front. It's so dangerous for the opponents, and because the game we played there was not much better. We won, but we didn't play good. I think Arsenal was better, and the game a month ago in Emirates, and we work a lot that we have to be more longest possession. So we cannot all the time long balls to Erling, like it happened in Emirates. And here we were more patient, and we had more control and contact with the players up front. That they keep the ball, they make an extra pass, and after Erling can run.
It was quite a really good team performance. I think from the first to the last minute, your team really controlled the game. And of course, we mentioned De Bruyne, and we'd like to talk about the individual players, but we know that he's first the collective game and collective performance. But one of the players that I really like personally is Rodrigue. And I just want, because we never mention his name.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know what is really special on him. What do you really like on him?
It's fundamental for us. What the minutes has played this season, and the intuition. He's a guy like, he can run a lot. The second balls can give us, and always I ask him with the ball before he moves too much. And without the ball is okay, but with the ball always I ask the holding midfielder stay there, stay more quiet, because when a holding midfielder moves too much, they have no ability to see the next. And now he's staying more in the position with Gundo today, or with John Stones when play, or with Rico a month ago, or at the end with Bernardo, because at the end staying there, he had the ability to do it. I think he grew up a lot and is a so important player for us.
Pep, question for you. You've come to the English into England. What you've brought, your innovation, your tactics, 27 major trophies. How do you retain that motivation to keep winning? It could be 30 trophies at the end of this season. It's been phenomenal. Maybe we could ask you at some point, some of your rivals would like you to step aside because you just keep winning everything.
No.
How do you do it?
No, first I have the responsibility that this club gave me everything to the hierarchy. I remember the first season when I didn't win, they support me unconditionally, and after as a sport, why should I stop, So when we are here, we have to do it, and we were lucky as a team, I had to be honest, like how the way Liverpool pushed us in the previous season, after win 100 points, 98 points, you can say, okay, it's enough, but we realize Liverpool pushes, and this is an Arsenal. So they made 50 points in the first leg. So I could not expect arriving here in that position. And, you know, once we are there, we've tried to win, like all of us when we played. Why should I stop? It's not necessary.
No, in a way you see the game is you're like a chess player sat there at the board, working out the movements. It's incredible to watch.
Well, we try.
It's great credit to see it.
But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, but at the end, honestly, the people will say, nah, but, it's fake humble or whatever. So I've been Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Man City, and the incredible quality of players I had in my disposal is, at the end, is work ethic, push them their limits, and the rest is the qualities.
Very much. John, did we see something special tonight? That was a display of near total control against your nearest rivals.
Yeah, I wouldn't say total control. I think we've got to give them a lot of respect and credit. I think, you know, we didn't play the football that we normally do. I think they, from both sides, I think we had man-to-man pressure, and it was very difficult to play our usual passes, and we tried to counter that with going into Erling. But I think the desire and how clinical we were tonight, I think we could have had a few more as well. Bit disappointed with the goal at the end, but I think I'm just made up with the 3 points at the end of the game.
Yeah, Kevin, you came out flying, didn't you? You set the tone very early.
Yeah, I think well, in the beginning we trained a little bit on the goal kick and how we could deal with that, and I think we had a couple of chances that way. And then, you know, when they play man-to-man, we just have to go a little bit longer because there's no place to play short passes. But I think yeah, the first half was really good, and like John said, we could have scored more, but luckily the second goal isn't offside, so that changed a little bit the game. And then I think after 3-0,
just a toenail away.
Time to.
It's a great header, by the way.
So yeah, I think in the second half it was probably about 50-50, but I don't think we gave much away to them, and you know, they're a very class team and hard to play against. And we had to be at our best today, and I think we were.
They couldn't control you and Erling swapping places, and he was providing for you, as normally it's the other way around.
Yeah, I think we set up a little bit differently, where maybe we would have 2 number 8s, and now I had a little bit more the freedom to go either left and right, see where the space was, depending on who was putting pressure from them between Partey and Xhaka, and then trying to find space.
Does the fact that you've got experience, you know what this Premier League obstacle race is like, well, a lot of the players in the side have been there before, does that give you a big advantage?
I would say a big advantage. I think we've been through tough moments and tough situations at this stage of a season in the past, and I think it's done us so well. I think we know how to cope with situations, what to do in certain scenarios, and it's just experience of being in those situations. I think you know, everyone's been there and everyone's got that hunger, and I think days like today, and I think there's a lot of pressure from the outside. We kind of, you know, train and know our jobs and what is asked of us when we're out on the pitch, and it's about us going out there and doing it today. And I think, you know, as you said, those situations really do help in big pressure moments.
A big pressure moment, a big game. Have you got one hand on the trophy? A couple of fingers, maybe?
It's too long.
You know the answer to that.
It's too long. Honestly, we know what people would say, whoever win this game, but I think it's so hard, and a lot of things can happen. It's still 7 games. That's a lot of points, and we're still, I know we're 2 games ahead, but we're still behind them. So, you know, people will say that we will win the title now, but I know this team, and we will not give in until it's mathematically could be done. But our schedule is hectic. There's a lot of things going on, so now we have to prepare ourselves for Sunday on Fulham.
Well done. Last duty, John, if you could pass that to Kevin, player of the match. Tremendous.
Well done, Kev.
Well done, gents. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Absolutely dominant this evening. 7 Premier League wins in a row. Rio, are they performing at a higher level than they have done all season?
Yeah, they're operating at a different level to any of the teams in this league. I mean, it's the way that this man coming into picture now and coming into shot. Congratulations. The way he's got them operating and playing at the moment has been phenomenal. I mean, we all knew he was a genius before, but the way he's adapting to things. And one of the questions I had for you, Pep, firstly, congratulations on the result. but the ability to now play different ways.
Position maintenant. Alors que se passe-t-il? Le buteur Hakim Ziyech est resté au sol.